Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a video review. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the sequel to the 2017 Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles for the Nintendo Switch. And if you're interested in any gameplay footage of me playing the game, I'll have a link down in the description down below, or you can click on the card that will appear up on this video. And for parents out there, it's worth pointing out that Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is rated E10s, ages 10 and up, by the ESRB rating system. In 2017, though, Ubisoft, along with Nintendo, released basically a very interesting game, sort of a collaboration, though. A game that starred basically the Mario characters and Ubisoft's Rabbids characters that were first introduced in Rayman Raving Rabbids I believe back in 2006, though. Now, the Rabbids, though, outside of Rabbids Go Home, which was an original game, though, Rabbids have been pretty much reduced to just appearing up in just mini games, and certainly. So it was kind of interesting when rumors started to pop out of the idea of using the Rabbids with Mario characters, though. Rumors first started to pop up that this was going to be like a Fire Emblem type of approach. Then suddenly we started to hear rumors about an XCOM type of approach. And then during E3, it was shown basically what was a collaboration, and it turned out to be this collaboration eventually paid off. It was basically an XCOM style type of a game using Rabbid characters like Rabbid Peach, Rabbids Luigi, and Rabbids Mario, though, with the iconic Mario characters and all. And to see this was sort of interesting in a way, and it was a concept that actually worked, and it did very well, though. There were some quirks here and there, but it was still a very much enjoyable game. I would say this one fared better than Starlink Battle for Atlas, despite the fact that Star Fox characters were in there, but even though that wasn't enough to save that game. Sadly, though, which is a bit unfortunate, to be exact. So it was kind of interesting to hear when they were going to do basically a sequel to the 2017 Kingdom Battles, though, titled Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which tend to take on more of a cosmic/galactic adventure, and it used characters also like Rosalia and basically, Rabbid Rosalia and all. And after spending some time with the game, I honestly have to say that this feels more like a redefined, or I wouldn't say redefined, I would say more like a enhanced or more like an updated version of Kingdom Battles, which certainly isn't necessarily a bad thing in any way. So why don't we get started with the pros and cons, and we'll start off first with the pros. And I will say, first of all, we'll start with the visuals. And I will say, visually speaking, though, the game looks good on the Nintendo Switch. Now, some might point out that some of the details are kind of missing like they were in Kingdom Battles, and while that's true to a certain extent, I still think the game looks good. Nevertheless, though, I like the whole cosmic approach to a lot of the stuff in terms of visiting different planets, though. I visited so far a beach world to an ice world and all. And so visually, though, it looks really nice thanks to Ubisoft's Snowdrop Engine. So it's a nice looking game on the Nintendo Switch and all. The next thing I do want to talk about is the story, though. And I will say, while the story, I won't say that Mario plus Rabbids stories were serious or anything. They were silly and humorous and all. And this one still maintains that part, nevertheless, though. The story certainly is enjoyable, though. It's something that young and older adults will probably enjoy, though. But you definitely get a bit of a cosmic-like feel, or maybe to some extent, I kind of feel like I'm getting a little bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy to a certain degree to the story, though. And that certainly isn't necessarily a bad thing. At least that's how I'm looking at it, though. So from the story perspective, this isn't necessarily bad or anything like that. And last but not least is the gameplay. And I will say the gameplay in Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope follows what Kingdom Battles does, and that it is a XCOM-like approach. It's like a cover-based strategy RPG shooter, to be exact, though. But there are a couple differences here and there. Like, for one thing, you have the ability to basically, if you go up to your buddy or go up to any of your playable characters, they can lift you up in the air, and you can sort of like hover a little bit and maybe reach areas you couldn't reach because you're within a certain barrier and all that stuff, though, to a dash ability where if you line up right towards an enemy, you can dash and do like an extra hit before your end of your turn and all. But what we have seen, however, is a bit of an enhancement to the gameplay. Like, you have more of the ability to move around than you did in Kingdom Battles, where basically that one followed more closely to an XCOM-like approach. It's still the XCOM gameplay, but you have more maneuverability to move than you did like in Kingdom Battles or in an XCOM game, to be exact, though. Other thing is that you also have certain conditions for battles, such as reach the end of this goal to defeat this certain amount of enemies, though. Enemies now appear on what looks like a world map in a way, and if you attack them first, you sort of go into this battle, like, battle mode and all, and you basically have more of an advantage, though. Another thing to keep in mind is when you go into battles, though, you could bring only up to 3 characters, so you have to choose which character you think would fit best for this battle, though, to the ability to use different sparks, though. Now, what's interesting about these sparks is that you can use that some of these have different attributes or anything. Some might offer a shield for your character, some might offer extra healing, some might deflect enemies, like if they attack you, they'll get attacked as well. And then you have some that are fire, water, and all, or toxic. Those are important to remember because they're going to, before each battle, you have the ability to take a look at the enemies on the battlefield, though, and they'll give you an idea of what their strength and weakness is. Some enemies might be weak against fire, or strong against ice, or some enemies might be weak against ice. So it kind of gives you sort of an idea of what kind of spark you want to use, especially if you are going into battle or anything like that. And of course, each character has their own attribute. Characters like Mario and Luigi have what's basically an overwatch, which means when the enemy moves, they can shoot moving enemies, though it's worth pointing out the enemies can do that as well. So it certainly is an enhanced version of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which certainly is by all means not a bad thing. And so the gameplay is definitely the strong point, though. I also forgot to mention, you can also upgrade your sparks as well. When you collect little star bits, though, the kind that you see in the Super Mario Galaxy game, you can use those to upgrade your sparks, though, to make them more powerful and all. But in terms of gameplay, though, it's an XCOM-like gameplay, and that certainly isn't a bad thing or anything like that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2, which is the cons. So we'll take a little break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of my video review of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope for the Nintendo Switch. Now that I gave you the pros, why don't I give you the cons? And there's really only one con I could think of based on my time with Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and some of that has to do with the gameplay. Now, I talked about the gameplay, about the XCOM-like approach they take to the game, and how I felt like it's more like an enhanced version of what Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle did, though, and that certainly is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's great. I think Kingdom Battles was a fun game, and the fact that Sparks of Hope enhance some of that gameplay mechanics certainly is good. But at the same time, though, it does seem to indicate that it doesn't really make a huge change from what Kingdom Battles does. Yes, there are some tweaks here and there. You'll be able to move your character more than you did in Kingdom Battles. The way battles are set up are somewhat different than what Kingdom Battles is, but gameplay-wise, they didn't really make a huge amount of change to it. Like one example is that you can only use 3 characters for each battle, and I would have loved to see them use more than 3 to be exact, though. It's kind of how I view, say, in other words, say the Borderlands series, though. Like, for example, I enjoy Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I think that is a good game and all, but no matter how much I enjoy it, though, you can't escape the fact that that is still Borderlands with a medieval setting, though. And again, the gameplay in Borderlands isn't necessarily bad, but it's not going to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. Same with the Nintendo-themed warrior games, though. Don't get me wrong, I like Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. I think they are good games. And as far as Warriors games goes, I think they are like the best one out there, though. But that still doesn't change the fact that they're still Warriors games nevertheless. And if you don't like those type of games, then I can't see how you're going to enjoy Hyrule Warriors or Fire Emblem Warriors. And that's kind of the impression I get with Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. If you didn't really enjoy the first game, Kingdom Battles, then you may not enjoy Sparks of Hope, to be exact, though. Again, that doesn't mean the gameplay is awful or bad or anything like that. It just doesn't, just like how I view the Borderlands games and the gameplay on that one, it's not going to completely reinvent the wheel or anything like that. It's still a good game, just don't expect going into it expecting a huge amount of change, at least as far as I'm aware of, though. Overall, I would say I still enjoyed Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and it's definitely a very good game on the Nintendo Switch, and one that I definitely would recommend, especially if you enjoyed Kingdom Battles, though. Excuse me. At its best, though, the visuals look great. It's probably one of the better looking games out there on the Nintendo Switch. I like the cosmic-like story that they made for Sparks of Hope, though, and the XCOM gameplay is still great in Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and I will admit it feels like an enhanced version of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and that certainly isn't a bad thing. But at its worst, though, at the same time, you're not going to see a huge amount of change to the gameplay, though. Maybe some changes here and there, but nothing really to reinvent the wheel. And as I said, it's kind of like how I view games like Tiny Tina Wonderland. It's still a good game. It's just nothing more than Borderlands with a medieval setting, to be exact, though. But in either case, though, it is still a game. This is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is still a game I would definitely recommend, especially those who are fans of Kingdom Battles, though. It's just really a shame that unfortunately the game did not do very well, and it's a little unfortunate Ubisoft singled this one along with Just Dance out. Although there is a debate over whether or not it was the poor decision to release it, the release date, though, to whether or not Nintendo or Ubisoft raised their expectations too high, though. Possibly Ubisoft. I've seen this done with Square Enix before many times, though. But either way, it's just a shame, though, because it is a really good sequel, though, and I would love to see a third entry if that ever happens, though. But if what we're hearing is true, I mean, we don't know. I mean, DLCs could bring the series back, though. There are reports that the upcoming DLC with Rayman is happening, though, although it'll be unclear whether or not the DLCs get canceled or not, though. I hope they don't, though. I hope the game gets a second wind or anything like that, because I really did enjoy it, though. It's just really shamed about in terms of it did not meet the expectations, at least according to what Ubisoft is saying. But in either case, though, those who like XCOM gameplay or anything like that should definitely keep an eye out, should definitely try out Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I think it's a good game, though, and it is definitely one that I believe you should add to your Nintendo Switch library. Okay, this concludes this video review of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope for the Nintendo Switch. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope? Have you tried the game out yet, though? Do you think it's a good sequel in any way? Do you feel like it's more like an enhanced version of what Kingdom Battles did and all, though? Do you think we'll get a third entry despite what Ubisoft saying it did not meet its expectation that they had hoped for in any way? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then.